Perhaps you've seen our video on do-it-yourself on-dash phone holder for under $5. In that video, I showed how to add a phone holder to the dashboard of our 2005 Saturn Vue. The problem with this installation is all the wires hanging on the dashboard would get tangled and look messy and get damaged. Also, with my phone hooked to the power plug, Sherry could not charge her phone. With a 3-plug adapter from Walmart and an hour of work, had the solution to both problems. We received no compensation for the mention of or the use of any products or company in this video. The aftermarket Pioneer head unit in our car is a single DIN, so the adapter kit includes a little shelf under the radio. This would work perfectly for the multiple outlet box and to store the extra wire that was getting tangled and looking messy. The multiple outlet box was designed for a low power use, and so the wires that came with it are too small to handle the power of charging 2 or 3 phones or tablets. So this would be replaced. Taking the dashboard apart in this car is simple, and it always starts with the center console. Just lift the bezel from the bottom and tilt it up, then back to clear the gear shift. Then, removing the 4 screws that hold the seat warmer switches and the upper console in place. With the screws removed, just lift the switch panel out of the way. Then gently pull the upper console away from the dashboard and lay it to the side. Next, the radio head unit needs to come out a little to allow me to drill a hole for the wires to come out of the shelf to the factory power plug wires. There are just 2 screws holding the head unit in place, one on each side. By putting the wires inside the dashboard, it keeps the wires for the adapter hidden, again avoiding having a tangle of wires hanging on the dashboard. The adapter is held together with 3 number 0 screws. I removed them with one of my jeweler's screwdrivers. Then I just opened the case. Inside, I found that the switch controls the ground or negative connection, and the positive or hot connection goes straight to the plugs. So I then just desoldered the old connections and replaced the 20 gauge wire with 16 gauge. I roughly just measured the wire to give me enough to reach the wires in the back of the factory power plug. Since I only had white wire handy, I just identified the ground wire with a piece of black tape at each end. I soldered the new wire in place inside the adapter. Then reassembled the cover for the adapter. With the cover reassembled, I just pushed the new wires into the hole that I drilled earlier and down to the factory power plug wires. I used wire taps to connect into the wiring of the factory power plug. This gives a very strong connection and are quick to use. All I had were the smaller ones that are for 18 to 22 gauge wire. So to make them work with the 16 gauge wire, I just strip a little insulation from the wire and push it in. The other wire is 18 gauge, and so it just slipped onto the other side of the connector. Then just squeeze the connector with pliers and close the cover. A little tug on it just to make sure it's good connection. I did this for both wires. Then after connecting those wires, I just reassembled the dashboard and put the adapters into the power plugs. I like this adapter for a number of reasons. One is that it has a switch to turn off the power. This helps because the factory power plugs are constant on, and this can drain the battery if someone like me leaves a phone charging without the motor running. As you can see, the wires all fit inside the little shelf with the adapter. This helps keep the wires away from the gear shift and other things that can damage them, and it is a whole lot less messy.
Thanks for watching our video. If you like what you see, press the like button below and subscribe. And also check out our other videos.